on the issue of the audited accounts, I just want to make it very clear, since our founding, we have been audited annually, or at least biannually, we've been audited. And our audits have always been unqualified. It goes without saying that with such inflow of funds, especially from the government, because the government entirely, let me say this again, entirely funded the events planning aspect of this summit. This was not, money was not provided by any donor. Over 500 million had been pumped into this by the Gambia government, and as Mr. Fadera said, it all went back into the economy because Gambian companies were contracted to provide the services. So naturally, this is public money. Wherever public money goes, if it is a butut, it has to be audited. So the OIC Secretariat is quite prepared even to be audited tomorrow morning, if that is needed. We have prepared, all our processes are foolproof. They are in line with government regulations. We have a very competent finance department, and they make sure that everything conforms with the rules. So we will be audited, and I'm making this pronouncement that we are prepared even tomorrow morning to undergo an audit exercise. The hotel was one of the projects. Of course, accommodation, as we all know, is very important for the holding of summits. However, we had a plan B, and our plan B had worked. We have identified enough bed space that we even needed for this just ended summit. However, let me make it very clear that the hotel project was a unique one that is not the same in terms of scope and character with all others. Like, for instance, the road projects are all government projects. But the hotel project, you would recall the government did not have money to be able to build a new hotel. We had wanted to take a loan at the beginning, but then the loans were not concessional, so we couldn't get a hotel built on our own. So we therefore explored different possibilities. And one of the possibilities that was identified was a PPP, public-private partnership, where we had 100% equity, but 90% of the equity was brought in, was supposed to have been provided by a concessionaire. And then 10% of the equity, which is the land, was contributed by the Gambia government. So therefore, we created what is called an SPV, Special Purpose Vehicle. In economic terms or in business terms, that means a company. And that company is neither government 100% nor belonging entirely to the concessionaire. So we had a joint partnership, and we created a company called IMOGAM. IMOLAN is the concessionaire, GAM means Gambia. So it's a company like any other company. It's no longer the same in terms of character. So the company exists legally, it's a different animal from government. The project started, but it had some delays. Notwithstanding, we had our own plan Bs, and we went ahead. So if I may answer your question directly, IMOGAM as a company still exists legally. The project site is there, work has started, it has stalled, but it is expected that the project should be completed. So as you can see, which is evident enough, the summit went ahead using all the resources that we have in the country. So that is what I want to say about the hotel. So the 5-star hotel is a joint venture project which includes 2 partners, Gambia government on one hand and a private concessionaire on another hand, forming a company called IMOGAM. So IMOGAM has its own directors. It's no longer a Gambia government, purely Gambia government project. It's no longer an OIC project. What we did, as our secretariat mandate demands, is to raise resources. And that is one of our resources that we raised. So it's a completely independent legal animal that has nothing to do with us in particular. So it's a company, it has directors. So if anybody wishes to know anything about that company, I think the best thing would be talk to the board of directors of that company.
It's one of the most successful public events in the history of our country. Don't even take my word for it. If you had had chats with even the guests, the organizers being the OIC Secretariat, all of them were incredibly pleased with the performance and the logistics and the arrangements that they saw during their time. In fact, during our informal chats, most of them really confessed that we exceeded their expectation in terms of what they saw, in terms of the orderly manner, in terms of the infrastructure, in terms of the arrangement. So as a country, this is indeed a very, very proud moment for us. But I cannot conclude without also recognizing and thanking the efforts of all the people that participated from all walks of life. When we started, we were very clear that this is a national event, and as such, it required the participation of all and sundry. And looking back, I think it is fair to say the whole country participated. Everybody pulled their weight behind the successful hosting of the summit. In fact, by our account, this is the single largest deployment of state and non-state actors from both the civil and the military sectors of the country. More than 5,000 to 6,000 people participated. This includes the security personnel, the state protocol officers, the event runners that we employed, the staff that from the OIC, the LOC members, etc., etc. All sectors of the country participated fully and supported this endeavor, which we are really, really, truly grateful for. In terms of the accreditation and the delegation that came, we registered and accredited more than 4,500 individuals. And this includes about 45 VVIPs and VIPs, including presidents, prime ministers, vice presidents, and permanent representatives of member countries to the OIC. All the affiliated bodies of the OIC were also represented at the highest level, and this includes the Gulf Cooperation Council, the Arab League, the Islamic Development Bank, the Muslim World League, among other crucial organizations.